Hey, what is up guys, Marcy here, back to do another video. I know it's been a while since my last video, decided to take a small break from playing to focus on some matters in real life. During this time though, I did release the Legacy map pack. Not sure if I covered this in my last video, but there is 52 maps that were contained in 1.02 Plus and the remaining maps from the vanilla map pool which went in 1.02 Plus have been included in that. So if you want to get R22 changes in those maps, then go ahead and get the Legacy map pack. One thing to note is it does not contain the changes to the handicap like the R22 maps do, so you can play with regular handicap how it works in the base game. Anyways, I'm going to be playing here as the Master Kane. My opponent will be playing as the Traveler 59, which is it's either Traveler 59 or Scrin. I can't quite remember. I did have a few glasses of wine during this particular game, but I did recall it for it being a pretty good game, so let's get straight into this one. I know Tempest Rising is pretty hot at the moment. I gave it a look. I downloaded the demo. I watched some streams as well during the week. Honestly, I'm not too impressed by it. I think that it looks pretty bland. The game appears to me, at the very least, to be... How can I put this? The models of the units all look the same. It's hard to distinguish the factions from one another. I also dislike the grid that the structures have to place. You can't rotate structures either. It's a bit like StarCraft. I didn't like them copying that aspect of the game. I also don't like the fact that it doesn't have right-click scrolling. Yes, it is more than 30 FPS, but that's about the only redeeming thing I can say about it. The user interface is lacking in my opinion. Not sure why the resources are to the left of the minimap, why the minimap's small as well, I don't know. And why the tabs contain text instead of icons, cluttering the screen up even more. The maps I wasn't too impressed by either. But yeah, I'm complaining a lot. There's obviously a lot of things they can fix before release, but I believe some of the design choices can't be. The projectiles are very hard to see in that game, particularly bullets. Even tank projectiles are hard to see as well. I didn't like the scale of the units either. I think that they appeared too large. That was one thing I did like about the Command & Conquer games, and to an extent Battle of Middle-earth. So yeah, I will give you all my thoughts going into the future. I'm not gonna dismiss it completely because it is a demo, but I believe I can draw a pretty good conclusion from what I've seen. I don't have to play hundreds of 1v1 games online to know I dislike the design and I dislike the choices made by the developers and the UI decisions. I'm sure I'll get a dislike or two on this video for not, you know, not going with the masses, with the herd, the whatever you want to call it. I don't have that herd mentality. If I dislike the look of something, I'll say it. I'm going to stick to playing Kane's Wrath, and we're going to be going with Bike Buggy in this particular game here. 2 war factories versus the Scrin. So I'll try and apply pressure, stop him from taking that blue Tiberian field in the middle. Micro, I felt like was on point. Whenever I'm drinking wine, I do seem to have better performance. I perform better for some reason when drinking. In moderation, mind you. I only drink like once a week now. A glass of wine or 2. It was a fine vintage I had in this particular occasion. So Bike Buggy, I'm going to harass his expansion. He probably has a defense already set up there. Disintegrators are hard to take care of. Very annoying as a NOD player. Transitioning into Scorpion Tanks because I know he's going to be most likely going for Seekers and upgrading the shard launcher upgrade as well as attenuated force fields. It's a pretty good strategy against Kane because Kane only get one upgrade on their Scorpion tanks, being the Dozer Blades, which can't really contest fully upgraded Seekers from Scrin. So it's going to be very interesting this. I'm going for that triple war factory tanks, not taking 2 tier 3, an alternate strategy against mass Seeker spam, as Kane is to go for 3 MCVs and upgrade supercharged particle beams as well as the quad turrets. You'll need the quad turrets since the DPS of the particle shredder turrets depends on that 4th turret as well. I've balanced it around the upgrade existing. Transferring my harvesters to that green field, then I decided it's probably best to go for that blue eye. It's going to be a risky move this. He has an upgrade advantage over me now with that attenuated force fields. I'm quite a while away yet from getting the Dozer Blades, which is a plus 20% increase to my Scorpion tank armor. I'm taking huge losses here. Both of us have rallied harvesters to that blue field. Neither one of us can focus on those harvesters, so we're just going to prevent one another from getting a full load of tip. I think both of us will get out of there with about the same amount of Tiberium. The Scrin harvesters harvest a bit more efficiently since the Nod ones have to harvest from behind, so to speak. Seekers, I can counter at the moment since he doesn't have the shards. If he upgrades that shard launcher upgrade, I'm in a big trouble. I'm taking heavy losses, and there's the upgrade I feared about. I'm going to go back to base here. I've got some bikes, 8 to be exact. I want to avoid his shard seekers with those for sure. And seeing that he has an upgrade advantage, I'm going to have to go into EMP tech, which in the case of Kane, your best bet is to build Enlightened, since they benefit from the Simon A. Leg upgrade, which grants them a significant increase to their movement speed. Awakened don't quite cut it in the late game. You can't catch up to enemy units, they're too slow. They're good in a pinch, they're good for really when you're defending your base, and that's about it. Not to mention you can sell off your buildings and get those awakened partial squads, let's just say. You can also repair awakened and enlightened in 1.02 plus. Just send them near to an allied war factory and you'll be able to get them healed up. It is slow, however. Mechapede's coming out now. I'm being surrounded, sandwiched in between Seekers and Shard Mechas. A terrible situation to be in. I took heavy losses, but I still maintain an army of 24 tanks. The Scorpion tanks are definitely ready in this game. One thing going for me at the moment is that I have an expansion set up a little bit sooner than him. I was able to secure my 3rd sooner, which will offset the upgrade disadvantage. Obviously, he expanded later since he upgraded tier 3 to get that shard launcher upgrade, as well as these Mechapedes here. But with the Enlightened, these Mechapedes won't be able to retreat. I'm going to be able to get some nice damage dealt to his army there. 3 Mechapedes falling. Those Seekers will be forced back. The infantry support is the equalizer in this particular game. A couple of Seekers made it out there alive. My Scorpions, I'm going to have to be extra cautious with them. I cannot afford to misclick. So I'm aiming down these Mechapede heads as best as I can. If I have any Enlightened squads, I can use them to EMP the Storm Column as well as the Mechapedes. That's an expensive defense. He'd be better served going for photon cannons with shard launchers since he purchased that upgrade earlier. Enlightened doing work here, but they can get killed relatively quickly by the Mechapedes. I was forced to use the cloaking field there because I don't want to waste my precious shots from the Enlightened squads on disintegrators when I need to be using them to focus on those mechas, as well as these harvesters EMPing these buzzer hives. He's trying to kill the Enlightened. I'm not actually killing his harvesters despite me being in his base. I'm trying to kill those mechapeds. It's proving to be very difficult. My EMP micro is on point. I'm targeting those mechapeds down very efficiently, but my army is whistling down. He has Seekers in my harvester line, taking out harvesters, harassing me. That's very annoying. Even though it's only 3 Seekers, with the Shard Launcher upgrade, they are very powerful, and they're going to be taking out my harvesters and delaying my my recovery here. I'm losing units. My army is getting destroyed as we speak. The Enlightened squads all got taken out, which was unfortunate. If you divert attention away from units such as Enlightened, such as stealth tanks, such as Vertigos, you're going to lose them in a heartbeat. They require your utmost attention at all times. 2 harvesters there at the blue field. Let's reassign those to this green, and now I'm going to have to defend my base once more against these mechapeds. I don't have any EMP available to me. I'm trying to get some Enlightened out, but it may be too late. And he's showing the backs of those mechapeds, which makes the Scorpion tanks unable to engage them. But if I can land an EMP, there is always a chance. Unlike Black Hand, one advantage of the Mount Kane as well is having those stealth harvesters. Just as the nod, you get stealth on your harvesters, so those mechapeds can't just home in and kill them. Another EMP lands. I'm going to target down those 2 which got affected. Scorpion tanks effective when the mechapeds aren't kiting like they usually do. Very difficult unit to counter. I'm still continuing to pump out these tanks. I could go for a tier 3 at this point, but what is it going to serve me with? I can go for supercharge, but he's building mechapeds. I can go for stealth tanks, but it'd be a minute 30 to get the Tiberium core upgrade, which would only make them useful after the upgrade. So I feel like to maintain this tempo, this aggression, I'm going to pump out more tier 1, even though I don't have upgrades, even though I'm not in the late game as far as my tech tree is concerned. I'm going to go with these tanks and Enlightened squads. There's a couple Awaken there mixed in, which is going to be useful against infantry if he builds them. And those Scorpion tanks are just ravaging through this base. I'm going to reinforce my expansion there of a couple tanks. Storm Column will be taken out pretty quickly. He's going to try the same thing as he did before. I seem to be pretty weak to counter attacks. When I'm focused on my opponent, I don't defend that well. A couple units in the back of my base seems to do a lot, so one thing to take away, at least for me in this game, is to defend, or to leave some units at home in case that happens, in case my opponent splits off units. But nevertheless, I was able to take out his expansion and showcase in that game just how powerful Scorpions plus Enlightened can be. Those Enlightened are so effective when they are accompanied with DPS from mass units such as Scorpion tanks or bikes or stealth tanks. Any of those type of units, when used with Enlightened, are so effective. You can get way more value and change the tide of battle significantly in your favor. Anyways guys, hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. And before I go, as always, thank you all for continuing to support me on Patreon. I do appreciate that. And this is it from me, Master Leaf. I'll see you all in the next video, which will be soon. I'm going to post more videos, so stay tuned to my channel. Anyways, peace out.